So what we're calling this is a 0-point meditation. And when we say that, 0 point, that's a physics term. And it's kind of, if you want to imagine it in the cleanest way possible, is the Big Bang, or the microsecond before the Big Bang started. Or think about a black hole. Some people are familiar that you dive over the event horizon towards 0 point. Or that energy moves up through you, coming up from the bottom, through the earth in its magnetosphere, and passes through 0 point into expression. The energy moving is what creates the reality around us. So we're going to take ourselves to our own personal 0 point to emulate as close as we can what happens in a sensory deprivation tank where you're floating weightless without sight or sound. We're going to listen to sound as we breathe together, but that's going to go away. So whenever you go into a meditative state or attempt to, the most important thing you can do is breathe deeply and slowly, consciously. So through your nose, take in a deep breath and release it through your mouth, filling up the bottom part of your belly, the lower part of your lungs, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And one more time in and out through your mouth. And your body already is ahead of you now. Your deeper subconscious sense of self is ahead of your ego mind. It says, I know that breathing like that is inviting something special into our life. And it is. Your deeper sense of yourself knows what to do when you breathe like that. So the first thing that we're going to do after breathing, this is a unique part of this experiment because most of the time our eyes are going to be closed. And I want you to hold your hand about 10 inches away from your face. And with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine that you are focusing on your hand. And that when you open your eyes, your hand will be in perfect focus. Close your eyes, focus on your hand, now open your eyes and realize that it's right there in front of you, crystal clear. Keep your hand where it is, and now I want you to imagine that you're focused far away, past the mountains, past the horizon, into deep space. That's how your eyes have readjusted. And if you open them now, your hand should be partially transparent. You should see maybe 2 hands, and one of them you can see through. And if that didn't happen, close your eyes again. Soften your focus. See deep, star deep. Open your eyes and realize that your hand is out of focus. That's the focus we want to maintain. Even though our eyes are closed, they're still open just behind our eyelids, and they're still seeing in a unique way. And if you soften your focus, you do what artists do. You allow more information to come into you. You tell your brain that it's processing information in a new way. And we're going to detach. If we're going to re-ground ourselves and reboot ourselves and achieve 0 point, the biggest thing we're going to need to do is detach. And a visual way of doing this is a cue, something to assist you, is imagine multiple silver cords emanating out of your core, your solar plexus, your upper stomach area, your torso. And see the way these silver cords attach to other people and places and events, even things, or to scenarios, to anxieties. emanating out all these multiple directions, these silver cords of you sharing this connected energy. And I want you to slowly, whatever came into your mind first, a person, an event, a feeling, a thing, stare at it, see your connection to it, and unplug from it. And then the next, unplug. Look into the eyes of the people closest to you and unplug that cord. The people that you've been angry with, holding on to resentment and anger and judgment. See them and unplug that cord. The people that you love, spouse, children, family, parents, best friends. Look them in the eye. They'll understand what's going on and unplug for the moment. That the you that will be plugging back in will be the more complete, genuine you. The better friend, the better spouse. And you keep unplugging those silver cords. And they're reeling in now. They're coming in from all dimensions and distances. And you can feel it. You can feel as they come back into you, this energy starting to percolate and tingle a little bit. That's you coming back into yourself. That's you not being scattered through all these different avenues, attached to all these different people and outcome and scenarios. As you do this, your breathing slows and your heartbeat slows. You feel like you're becoming lighter. You're comfortable in your surroundings. You're very present on the planet. Your breathing slows. Your heart rate slows. And we're going to say this word 0 point. And we're going to picture something like a flower that is not yet bloomed. A bud that is just ready to open up. Or maybe you picture that big bang. We've been taught how that happened. All of the material in the entire galaxy, in the entire universe, contained in a point smaller than the head of a pin. And it's still there. It has not yet started exploding outward. But you can feel it coming. And the outside stimulus goes away. And it's just you. You're unplugged, aware of your breathing, aware of your heartbeat, aware of your potential in this 0 point moment. But nothing stays at 0 point. Everything energetically moves and grows. And we're going to do the same thing. And I want you to visualize. I picked 6 outward expressions of growth. Of course, there could be infinite. And for every outward expression of growth and moving into your greater sense of self, I've also identified the yang of that expression. So every time we just take one step, one petal growth forward, we're going to acknowledge the other side of that as part of our potential. And the first one of those is your potential for love and all that that means. Your ability to express kindness and compassion. That's a part of who you are. And we let that grow just one petal out from the bud. And behind it, exactly behind it, 180 degrees opposite, we see fear. The opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. Fear leads us to the hate, to the anxiety, to the worry. So there's two expressions of us already, kind of pulsing, pulling, pushing, this love and this fear. Now imagine a new petal from the same bloom, branching out in a new direction of joy and happiness. The joy and happiness you want to feel all the time. And of course, then you feel, what is the opposite side of that? What is the opposite potential of that? And sadness, and the sorrow. And then you move into health. Healthy action. You feel that you want to be health activated, moving into your physical body's greater sense of health, your mind's sense of calm and health. And knowing the things that promote that health, the habits, very clear in your mind's eye. But also acknowledging, looking behind you, seeing the opposite side of that, the yin-yang energy of that, and knowing the dis-ease, the things that you can do that will not promote your health. Acknowledge that. It's real. Take a moment to think about forgiveness as another little petal from this same bloom, all of them holding the same space right now. We have this forgiveness aspect of ourselves. We want to be forgiven, and we want to forgive. It's challenging at times. And so we address the challenge. We address the opposite end of forgiveness, and we feel our ability to judge and not forgive, and to hold on to resentment. Those are true expressions. And lastly, we claim the peace. And what that means, the inner peace, the feeling of connection and belonging, the tranquility. Knowing that you deserve to be here on this planet, sharing space with every single person, animal, form of life, air, water, trees. You are part of all of that and feeling that. But also acknowledging the flip side of it, the anti-peace, where war comes from, separation, the illusion of separation. So we have these 6 evenly arrayed expressions into our greater good, moving into our greater good. And we have these 6 anti-expressions, but every bit as real, of where we could also move. So there's 12 points radiating out equally from us. And if you lay these petals out just right, you arrive at a geometric shape that is known as the vector equilibrium. And Buckminster Fuller discovered this shape in the 1920s, where all arms are the same exact length and separated evenly from each other. And it creates this amazingly balanced geometric shape. And that's us in this moment. Perfectly balanced, like a snapshot of our expression and potential. Before anything happened, we just acknowledged who we are and what we can be and our potentials. But what Buckminster Fuller realized right after it is that nature doesn't like this balance. It cannot hold static balance. It never has. It moves in a direction. And it builds on that direction. It builds on the momentum of that movement. And that's where our choice, that's where the power of this moment is right now, is we're going to choose the direction, this building of this crystal structure. What happens from here, the next millisecond, is going to dictate the type of person we become from here. the actions we take and the things we say and the thoughts we think. So we take this step really consciously and seriously, deciding which forms of our potential expression we're going to follow and give movement to and grow that energy. You can imagine it as growing crystal energy or a spiral, the way energy moves. And you bring that back into the physical world. Become more aware of your body. You're still there, laying comfortably, sitting comfortably, eyes focused deep into the distance. And you realize you are building you from 0 point. You are deciding the way and the direction this energy is going to build and the way that you are going to be expressed. It's all up to you. And you realize you're not hiding from the fact that there are potential expressions of you that will not serve your greater good. But now is not the time to judge them. You can acknowledge them and say, I'm not going that way. I'm not moving in that direction. I'm moving in this direction. My momentum is carrying me this way on purpose. I decided it. I know why I'm doing it. And the more I do it, the more clear it gets as to why I'm doing it. And it brings to me the energy and the support and the people that will feed that growth and keep me moving in the direction I want to move, to joy, health, peace, love, compassion, gratitude, on purpose. You're doing that now. You're becoming that now. It's like you've rebooted the system. We zeroed out. We turned the machine off for a moment. And we uploaded these new operating instructions that gave us back the power that we forgot we had. And we keep moving in the direction we want to move. Clear on the reasons why we're doing the things we're doing. And we become more aware of our body and our surroundings. And those external forces at work in our life, whether expressed as people or events, we plug back in. We're not isolated, we're social creatures. But we plug back in knowing the why and the way we're doing it. We're looking these people in the eye as we plug back in. And maybe there's some people that we are not going to plug back into. With this new clarity we have, there's no feeling of ill will. We just realize we see more clearly how our paths are not serving each other anymore. So we release with that love and gratitude that we want to grow within ourselves. And we're more present in our body. We're more connected and integrated in our thoughts. But there's a new clarity of how things can be done and how thoughts can be thought and how we can move forward from here. First for our own greater good, but knowing if it's for our own greater good, it's for the greater good of all. You cannot hold a thought of greater good for yourself and also mean it would diminish someone else. That would no longer be in your greater good. You're aware of your breath. Coming back into the moment. More present. More clear. More on purpose. More grounded. More hopeful. And you breathe. And you open your eyes and you see things in a new way.